The failed former president Donald Trump, 4 times indicted, twice impeached, civilly liable rapist, was interviewed by Glenn Beck of The Blaze. Remember that this is a political movement that says they are for law, order, and due process. And Trump said to Glenn Beck yesterday, I'm going to have to lock people up. Just lock them up willy-nilly if I become president of the United States again. This is the authoritarian nightmare we are all afraid of if Trump or DeSantis or any of these authoritarians become president. Listen to this. This is truly the stuff of horrors.
I have to tell you, I don't know how you do it every day. I really don't. I would have lost my mind a long time ago. You said in 2016, lock her up. And then when you became president, you said, we don't do that in America. That's just not the right thing to do. That's what they're doing. Do you regret not locking her up? And if you're president again, will you lock people up?
Well, I'll give you an example. The answer is you have no choice because they're doing it to us.
You have no choice but to lock people up because they're doing it to us.
I always had such great respect for the office of the president, the presidency.
He used to.
But the office of the president, and I never hit Biden as hard as I could have. And then I heard he was trying to indict me, and it was him that was doing it. You know, I don't think he shot.
There is no evidence that Biden has been involved at all.
Enough to think about much, but he was there, and he was probably the one giving the order. But he was, hard to believe that he even thinks about that because he's gone. But then I said, well, they're actually trying to indict me because every one of these indictments is him, including Bragg. Bragg put his top people. I don't know if you know this. He put his top person into the office of the Manhattan District Attorney. They've been in total coordination with Fani Willis. The woman that I never met that they accused me of rape, that's being run by a Democrat operative and paid for by the Democrat Party. So many of these things. I have a couple of other lawsuits, all funded against me by the Democrat. These are sick people. These are evil people. And it's an amazing thing. We talk about the public. The public is smarter than anyone can imagine because they understand what's happening. It's really actually driven. I was doing very well before this stuff, but it's really driven my poll numbers up. And you look at these, that basically they're saying I don't have a right to challenge an election.
That is not what a single one of the indictments says.
Thank you, and we're going to make America great again. You watch. It's going to happen fast. It's going to happen fast, and I appreciate it very much. And you're a brave voice. You are a very brave voice and have been for a long time.
There you go. So the key part here, listen, of course, it's riddled with lies. The indictments aren't going after Trump because he challenged the election results. The indictments aren't going after Trump because he said that he won, whether that's true or not. He's allowed to say that. He's allowed to lie. The indictments are not going after him because of the court cases that he put forward trying to challenge election results in a variety of different states. None of the indictments are for those reasons. We have talked about it before. But the really scary and authoritarian part here, it's chilling. It's almost cliche to say it, but it's chilling, is when Trump says, well, we're not going to have a choice but to lock them up. Now, can Trump actually order people locked up? No, as far as the country has operated so far. Is there someone Trump could call and demand a lockup of somebody if he were president that would do it? I hope not. I hope not. But the critical part here, remember, is that due process is exactly what we are seeing. I'm not calling for Trump to be locked up unless he's convicted or pleads guilty. And then I only want him to be sentenced in accordance with sentencing guidelines. I don't want any special treatment of throw this guy there, throw that person there, deny them any of the rights. He gets a trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. But what we have seen is due process. That is not this, well, on the one hand, on the other hand, Biden got me arrested, so I'm going to have my political enemies arrested. If anyone can put forward evidence, and I've said it before, if anyone can put forward a shred of evidence that Joe Biden was involved in the arrests or indictments of Donald Trump, I will be the first to say that is completely inappropriate, and you will hear me screaming about it. Trust me, it is not a partisan issue for me. However, there is no such evidence. Think of your most personal emails. If you're using a free email provider, you should know that they're scanning every email you send and receive even after you delete it. They're usually using the data to build a picture of your life to show you ads, which many find creepy. Our sponsor, StartMail, never scans or tracks your emails. Privacy is what comes first. And unlike other email services, when you delete an email in StartMail, it is gone forever. It also protects your data by blocking tracking pixels in emails, which companies and hackers can use to track you. You can create unlimited email aliases to protect your identity and cut down on spam. You can encrypt every email you send, even if the recipient isn't using encryption. StartMail gives you 20 gigs of storage. That's more than you get on Gmail. And it only takes a few clicks to migrate all of your emails and contacts over to StartMail. Go to startmail.com/Pacman to get 50% off your first year. That's only about $2 a month. The link is down below.